$100 or something like that. Yes. All your tax money go into that hamburger or beef burger. That's why it's so cheap. Don't you ever wonder why it's so cheap?
Subsidized.
Yeah, subsidies from the government. And where does the government have money? Your pocket. Yeah, tax, yes. And then everybody think, oh, it's so cheap. You know, everybody go to hamburger and beef burger shop to eat. And all the money you pay all the while and you don't know. Of course you know. No, you don't know? Not really? Okay, all right. You're eating your money. It's not hamburger that you're eating, it's your money. And then everybody think, wow, so cheap, you know, all these fast food chains, so cheap. And everybody likes it because it's cheap. But it's not cheap. First, it came from subsidies, yeah, which is your pocket money, or your parents' pocket money, or your grandparents, or whatever, yeah, continue. And then later, after you eat all that, you get sick also, and then also your money again. Go hospital, eh? Either free in the hospital or not free is the same. Free, then it's from your tax. Not free, from your pocket. Both of them came from your pocket. Wow, you know everything now. So when I saw that news, wow, I jumped around like a kid. I laugh and cry at the same time. It's not a very big step, but it's a step. I can't believe we live to see that day, you know. I mean, European Parliament is a big, powerful institution, right? It's not just you and I. I was so happy, I laugh and cry, and then like a child, you know, jump around. I was so happy, and then my dogs were so worried. They come around me, hang around me, jump around me also, and kissing me all over. They were like crying with me. They were crying because they saw me crying. I was so happy. So I had to tell them, no, don't worry. I'm just happy, everything okay, I'm happy, you know, because they were so worried. They all jump around and crying and, you know, whining, you know, and licking me all over. Oh, I'm drool all over, you know. I said, no, I'm just happy, don't worry. And then they all calmed down, you know. They never saw me like that, I guess. Yeah, now and again we have some good news, eh? It's worth to be happy about. Every day we have good news and some news to motivate you to work for the world. So you should watch it. Okay, let's talk about the Buddha's wisdom here. In the Diamond Sutra, one section of it, the Buddha talked about dhyana paramita, meaning the great practice of meditation, the real meditation. Here, when you meditate, it's not real. You understand me? I'm talking about the Buddha's meditation. Okay, then Subhuti. Subhuti is one of Buddha's great disciples. Nah? So when he asks something, there is something meaningful to us. So here, Subhuti inquired the Lord Buddha, saying that, suppose a good pious disciple, either man or woman, having begun the practice of attaining Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi, how is he or she to keep his mind tranquil? How is he to wholly subdue his wandering thoughts and craving desires? You all want to know this, right? Yeah. Okay, so the Lord Buddha replied to Subhuti. The Buddha said, Subhuti, any good pious disciple who undertakes the practice of concentrating his mind in an effort to realize Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi should cherish only one thought, namely, when I attain this highest perfect wisdom, I will deliver all sentient beings into the eternal peace. That's the only thought that a pious disciple should bear in mind during meditation, to calm his mind. That's what the Buddha said. Try it tonight. Do you know what is Anuttara Samyak Sambuddhi? That's the highest perfection, the highest Buddha nature, Anuttara, supreme. Samyak Sambuddhi is the highest Buddha nature, God Almighty, the highest wisdom. Now when we meditate, when we undertake the concentration of the mind, we should bear in mind only one thought. That is, when I attain this highest perfect wisdom, I will deliver all sentient beings into the eternal peace of Nirvana. Eternal peace of Nirvana, paradise, the highest paradise. Okay, now, can we do that? Do you have this thought in your mind when you meditate? No? What do you have?
Just thinking like daily thoughts.
Daily thought.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, pretty much the same.
Very much. Huh? Same? Who has the same like her? Raise hand. Yes, okay. I understand. No, I don't mean like when your mind wander around, which it does. What I mean is your motive, your motivation of practice meditation is to help sentient beings, no? To help everybody else, no? At least to help yourself, to help your 9 generations, 5 generations, yeah? But better still, to help the whole human beings, the whole sentient beings, and non-sentient beings even. Nowadays, environment protection also, yeah? But in the Buddha's time, he also already mentioned that we have to protect the environment. Okay, so if we, a practitioner, can cherish this very high ideal, like, I practice so that I can deliver all sentient beings, then it would be great. Then even though you have not known the whole Buddha nature, you already have a Buddha attitude. Just like a prince, he was still young. His father is still on the throne. But he must know that one day he's going to succeed his father, sit on that throne, and take care of the whole nation. He must know that already. He must have this motive in his mind. Similarly, a practitioner must have this motive, this highest ideal in the mind that one day if I become Buddha, I will liberate all sentient beings. Deliver. Deliver means liberate them, help them to attain eternal peace in Nirvana. If this purpose and vow is sincere, then all sentient beings already delivered. Wow. And yet, Subhuti, if the full truth is realized, one would know that not a single sentient being has ever been delivered. Of course, this is a Diamond Sutra. For all the Buddhists who don't really practice Zen or meditation, for them this is the ultimate kind of sutra, the highest sermons of the Buddha. And they revere the sutra very much. The book, the Bible. And some even put it on the altar with incense and candles, flowers and fruits, and bow to the sutra every day. And the Buddha say that if your purpose and vow, like to vow to deliver sentient beings, and your purpose and your vow is sincere, you're truly honest with your vow, truly want to deliver all sentient beings, then all sentient beings already been delivered. just by your sincere motive and intention. My God, yes. But then, he said, if the full truth is realized, then that person, the practitioner, would know that there's no sentient being has been delivered. The Buddha asked, and why is that? Subhuti. Because if the Bodhisattva Mahasattvas have kept in mind any such arbitrary conception as one's own self, other selves, living beings, or universal self, they could not be called Bodhisattva Mahasattvas. Yeah. And what does it mean, Subhuti? It means that there are no sentient beings to be delivered, and there is no selfhood that can begin the practice of seeking to attain Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. Do you really understand what he's saying? Any of you understand? No? Okay. Suppose the Australian who guys came here to die. But he said, no, he didn't come here to die. So he came here to live then. Okay, now, suppose this might here has attained Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi, mean the highest perception of Buddhahood. Then maybe some trust him and, get some initiation from him. And then they were sitting there and seeing him with his manifestation, Buddha body and all that, and seeing the Australian mate, taking him to the Buddha's land and visiting this and that and others. At the same time, do you think this Australian Buddha would think the same way like his disciple do? Yes or no? Okay, you got a little bit. But why no? Is he dead or deaf or blind, dumb, something? Why didn't he know what his disciples know? Tell me, anybody know?
Because he knows that the disciple can be enlightened by himself or themselves. And the disciple think is he that enlightened them.
No. It's not that. No. Okay. You understand something, but it's not that, of course. It's not that. What it means is that when you have attained Buddhahood, you have no more ego like the way we have in the human life. You see what I mean? Like, okay, I do this, I do that. Yes? I enlighten him, I enlighten her. But when you have become Buddha, you don't have this I anymore. Yes? So you don't have any registration like office. It's like in center here we have a registration office. Everybody come, and put their name on and say, okay, I have come today, I go tomorrow. So in the Buddha's mind, there's no sentient beings come and go through the wavelength of his existence. Even if they come and go, he is one with all of them. That's why he can suffer with them and they can be happy with them. But nevertheless, it doesn't have him and doesn't have them. So in the Buddha's mind, there's no sentient beings come and go through the wavelength of his existence. Even if they come and go, he is one with all of them. That's why he can suffer with them and they can be happy with them. But nevertheless, it doesn't have him and doesn't have them. It is very difficult for you to understand if you have not reached that level. That's why Lao Tzu say the wisest one is like the ignorant one. The reason is the ignorant also doesn't know what's going on with the neighbors. Yes? And the Buddha has no more ego to register what's going on with the neighbor. But through him and by him, everything happens. But he doesn't have the ego to say, I am the Buddha, I have made such and such miracles, and I have so much light around me, and I am going to give him enlightenment. Although he does that, but he never ever have the conception in the mind that I do this, I do that. Do you understand? Just like Jesus say, no, not I did it, it's my Father who does it. Because he doesn't have any ego at all. It's very difficult for everybody to understand why somebody does something but not know about it and not registered about it and not take credit for it and not claiming that I did it. Do you understand me? But the Buddhas are like that. Christ are like that. The prophets are like that. They don't register anything like that. They don't have an ego to claim that I am the one who help you. I am the one who enlighten you. They have no mind to discriminate between themselves and the sentient beings. Thus, they can deliver myriads, numerous, countless sentient beings, but they would never have a conception in their mind that I have delivered 1,000,000 people to Nirvana. Do you understand me? It's not like the Buddha become like ignorant again. It's not like that. It's just the ignorant doesn't understand. And the Buddha doesn't have the mind to understand this arbitrary concept about me and you and everybody else. Of course, when he was sitting here talking, for example, to the multitude, then he would say, okay, I and you. But that is just the physical level. In the other levels, he does myriads of things, incredible things. But all the while his mind never claims that he does it. Because there's no more frontier between himself and others anymore in that kind of level of consciousness. Understand, yeah? Okay, good. That's why it is very difficult to understand from the intellectual point of view what the Buddha is saying here unless you have become a Buddha. Even I have explained to you, but this is still in the intellectual levels. It's not the real experience that you have experienced. You see what I mean? All right. Okay. Some of you have experienced miracles, yes? And you always thank me. Okay, Master, thank you for saving my life, thank you for stopping the accidents, thank you for braking the car in time, etc., etc. Yeah? But I don't have anything to register these things. So if you tell me, then it's the first time that my mind would know about it. My brain would hear about it. Do you understand me? Yes. Because whatever has been done is been done in a different level. It's not at the level of the intellect. It's not a level of the brain that the brain can understand and register. Just like yesterday I went shopping, today I drive a car, and then yesterday I go home. It's not like that. This is a function only of the brain. And even intellectual, emotion, or understanding, knowledge, worldly knowledge, they all from the intellectual level, from the mind and from the brain only. Everything else the mind cannot understand. The mind cannot register. And the Buddha levels, the Buddhas, Christ, the Prophet Muhammad, for example, Guru Nanak, the Jain Master, they operate on that level. Above the mind, above the intellect, above the brain. Therefore, they never claim. You see? Because who is claiming? The ego that claims. The brain that registers something that you have done and then say, I have done it. I've eaten a candy or something. Then the brain would know it, would register it. Yeah? The taste would tell the brain, okay, she's having a candy. Or she's eating a pizza. Or she's drinking a water or something. But above the level of that, no mind can understand. No mind ever reach. Therefore, the Buddha delivered countless sentient beings. But there's no sentient beings delivered because of that. Because no registration. Yes, in this level of the physical body. Yes, that's what it is. At least you understand, no? Therefore, if you are initiated, we are working from a different level. Do you understand me? So whenever we are in this physical body and you ask me, okay, Master, give me some blessed food, bless my wisdom eyes or do something for me. I say, okay. Okay, I try to do that. But even when I do that, I don't have the notion that I'm doing it for you, okay? And you are the one who probably will receive it. But then, if it's physical, then you can know it, yeah? For example, okay, you say, okay, Master, please heal my hand, is broken. Then tomorrow it's not broken anymore, then you will feel, okay, Master has done it. But something else, if it's not physical, then even if you perceive it, then you have to be on another level to perceive it. Otherwise you don't know. Yes. So the Buddha continued to say, Saputi, what do you think? When the Tathagata was with Buddha Dipankara, did he have any such arbitrary conception of the Dharma as would warrant him in seeking to attain Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi intuitively? So Saputi say, no. No, blessed Lord, as I understand what thou hast said to us, when the Lord Buddha was with another Buddha, Dipankara, he has no such arbitrary conception of the Dharma as would warrant him in seeking to attain Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi intuitively. Now, even intuition is in the realm of psychology. The sixth sense. The sixth sense is still a sense. All right. So sometimes we say, oh, I feel like Master have helped me yesterday. I feel she was there. But that is still only intuition. You see? To be able to really see the Buddha operate, in the Buddha's level, you have to be higher than intuition even in order to understand or to see. But then, above all that level, you won't see anymore. Because the mind is not there to see. The brain is not there to perceive. You see? And in the soulic level, we are almost like identical, one with each other. So there's no, I do it for you. Yeah? You receive things from me. We are kind of one. We do it, we are individual. We are not like merging with each other and disappear, all in one lump. It's not like that. But then we don't have the sense of separation. We don't need the brain to perceive the difference between us. We don't have the mind to know that, okay, the other one has done something to others. It's not just like in this physical body, everything is done so obviously. I shake your hand, you know it. Yeah? I give you a piece of candy, you got it. So, physical level is completely different than spiritual level. Okay. So when the Buddha was with another Buddha here, probably when he was learning, the Buddha was talking about when he was a disciple of another Buddha, when he wasn't a Buddha yet. So he did not have this conception that he's going to attain the highest Buddha nature by intuition. Did you really understand? Wonderful. You're so smart. Well, thank you anyway. At least I feel like my work is bearing fruit, We are not even halfway yet. Wow, my goodness. I just read it quick like a parrot. Remember when we had a charity concert in LA somewhere, yeah? And there was a man, he has a Guinness record for speaking fast, He's a fastest speaker.
This one I remember was
Mushita, huh? And then later he even impart the initiation to to the actress, who also took care of that day. Ah, Debbie Reno. She also spoke very, very fast. I was amazed. It's so easy to learn so quick like that. Now, let's try. The Lord Buddha was much pleased with his answers. You are right. So, but he just begin with it. It's not so the conception of the Buddha as that. Did you understand what I was talking about? No, too fast. Too fast. We rewired the tape. It is. The Lord Buddha was much pleased with this and said, "You are right, Saputi. Speaking truly, there is no such arbitrary conception of the Dharma as that. If there has been, Dipankara Buddha would not have foretold that in some future life I would attain Buddhahood under the name of Sakyamuni." That was when he wasn't a Buddha Sakyamuni yet. He was a disciple of Buddha Dipankara. Now, what does this mean, Subhuti? The Buddha kept asking. It means that what I attain is not something limited and arbitrary that can be called Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi, but is Buddhahood, whose essence is identical with the essence of all things and is universal, inconceivable, inscrutable. Yeah, that's what I believe. Yeah, incomprehensible. Yes, this is a problem when you try to bring something as abstract as a Buddha nature and try to put it into print, into words, into this cold and flat language of the human race. Then it become all like this, all wired. Okay, we can read it. The Buddha was exceptional, was incredible that he could even brought it into words, yeah? And then you must bear in mind that after the translation, there's not much of a wire left anymore. Might be a different kind of wire. Oh, wow. Universal, anyway, believe this. Whatever it is, he say, is universal, is inconceivable, and inscrutable, okay? That's it. That's a Buddha nature. Now you cannot say that you don't know what Buddha nature anymore. The Buddha told you already. Okay? Got it? Incomprehensible. All right. That's what it is. There was a Korean Zen master. He is very cute. He taught somewhere in America, somewhere near New York State, yeah? He always taught people just anything, don't know. That's it. One word, don't know. Anything you don't understand, don't know. Anything you desire, go straight, don't know. One word, don't know. And that is the overall cure for everything, for his disciples. What he means is that you cannot comprehend the true things anyway, The phenomena, we might see it like, okay, this man is in love with that woman. Maybe that is a physical phenomena that we can see and perceive and calculate with our mind. But the truth is not always like that. It might have been that there have been enemies in the past. And now they came together to balance out, the debt, to making it up, yes, to annul the animosity, between them. Yes. Or they might be in debt with each other, and now they have to come back together, maybe as lovers or husband and wife, maybe for a long time, for a whole lifetime, maybe for a short while, depends on how much debt they have to pay. So sometimes the poor husband already finished the debt, so he has to go, or he wants to go, and the wife says, "Oh, he's so unfaithful to me. He left me." For example, like that. So anything in life, it's not too bad to follow that Korean master, He's a monk, a Korean monk. Everything just don't know. Anything explainable or inexplicable, just go straight, don't know, he said like that. Oh, we truly don't know, huh? It's not like we really know anything, do we? No, huh? Even the Buddha nature, he says, Don't know. Incomprehensible. Inscrutable. It's been a long time since I read the Diamond Sutra. I read them when I was younger, 20-something. And I revered it like a treasure because my monk masters, told me that this is the ultimate of all the sutras. You have to revere it. Then you will understand everything. Then you'll be liberated. Then you are a true good Buddhist. So I read, I read very fast because it's a long one. So I read faster than now, of course. In the morning I don't have much time. That's why all the monks, they keep the rhythm with the wooden fish, And then he read faster than Mushita. The man who has the world record for faster speaking. And the Buddhas had taught many sutras like this. And they're all precious, according to my monk's teacher at that time. But they just give you one at a time, Because if they give you everything at one time, nothing is precious anymore. Okay, now we continue with this. It's very short. It's only 1.5 pages, and we had fun. Okay, now the Buddha continue. He said, Subhuti, suppose there should still be a disciple who asserts that the Tathagata had some ideas about the Dharma that guarantee him in seeking to attain Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. Be it understood, Subhuti, that the Tathagata truly had no ideas of the Dharma that warranted him in seeking to attain Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. Okay. Yeah. Now you understand, right? You know what Tathagata is? It's a Buddha. It means a Buddha. Okay. Also the same. Just one of the name of the Buddha. Like sometimes you say to God, "Oh God, Almighty, all merciful, omnipresent, omniscience." Different. Now the Tathagata means a Buddha. If even somebody, some disciples of the Buddha proclaim that, the Buddha has a method, of enlightenment, just like we say Kuan Yin method, for example. And the Buddha know exactly that is a method. Well, it's just a way of saying. But there is no method, is there? Yeah? When you sit in initiation, did I tell you any method? No, there's no. Truly no. So even if we have to say like that, we say, okay, I have a Kuan Yin method for you, then you can become enlightened. But it's not like mathematics, 2 and 2 make 4, and then you become a Buddha, that is 6, It's not like that. It's truly not like that. Similarly, in Buddhahood or anything else, it's like that. It is something that is not for the mind to even understand. So during the initiation, we just sit together, Or I don't even sit with you. I sit at home. Maybe I was cooking for Supreme Master Television at that time even. Yes. So it's not like, okay, I have a true method that is written black and white that will guarantee you to be enlightened. But you get enlightenment all the same. But meanwhile, there's truly no method. We say Kuan Yin method, but there's no method, is there? Yes. It is just universal power that is working between us, yes, working within us, once we agree to tune back into ourselves. Then the universal power will work through the Master, or the Buddha, or the Christ, or the Prophet, for example. That's it. The whole thing is similar, like, okay, there's no conception about Buddhahood. There's no conception about attainment, enlightenment, and all that stuff. Not the conception that we can explain in the worldly language. That's what he meant. Not the conception that the people think in their mind that the human race think, okay, enlightenment is like that. Enlightenment has to be like this. The Buddha nature is like that. It's absolutely no and no and no. That's why after the Buddha spoke for many years, many decades. And he asked his disciple, did I ever say anything? I say, no. No, the Buddha didn't say anything. And so many sutras, incomprehensible sutra, yet he said he didn't say anything. Because the Buddha really did not say anything. The Buddha did not say anything. But Sakyamuni said something. The Buddha nature doesn't need to say anything to any Buddha nature. But the mind needs to listen. So Buddha probably explained this to the disciples' mind to appease their inquisitiveness, to calm their mind, to make them understand a little bit intellectually so that they leave the soul alone and then we can enter ourselves, remember ourselves again and be ourselves again inside, without the hindrance of the mind, without trouble of the brain. Okay. I really worship whoever translates this because he must have been having trouble with the Sanskrit term and the English term and all this incomprehensible Buddha nature in here. And he can translate it. It's incredible already. And sometimes they don't even translate this directly from the Buddha Sanskrit, from the original. They translate it maybe from Sri Lankan language or maybe from Chinese, or maybe from Vietnamese or Korean or Japanese even, from the many generations. Subhuti, the Buddha continued. The Buddhahood to which the Tathagata attained is both the same as Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi and not the same. The same and not the same. Like, I am me and yet I am not me. Cool. This is truly like a koan, You cannot tell people that you don't practice Zen here, We are very Zen right here. The same but not the same. This is only another way of saying that the phenomena of all things is of one suchness with Buddhahood and Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi, and that it is neither reality nor unreality, but abides together with all phenomena in emptiness and silence. Inconceivable and inscrutable again. Wow. Okay. In that case, we don't bother, It's inconceivable. Why bother? After all, it's inconceivable. Subhuti, that is why I say that the Dharma of all things can never be embraced within any arbitrary conception of phenomena, however universal that conception may be. That is why it is called the Dharma, and why there is no such thing as the Dharma. Wow, there we are. Okay, so whatever it is not it, okay? Now we got it, okay? Whatever we got it is not it. Right. Wonderful. That's why it's called diamonds. Wow. So the Buddha say that everything has the same essence, in this essence. It's either not reality or unreality, but abide together with all phenomena. All phenomena mean all things that's created, all their creation. In emptiness and silence. Plain language is that we all have that essence within us. Yeah? And that essence is quiet. It doesn't even talk. Just abide in emptiness and silence within us. Yes. There's nowhere that essence is holding on to. So you can only say that it abides in emptiness and in absolute silence. If that essence were to be so loud every day, talking to us all the while, then what would we do? You see what I mean? The Buddha nature. Just abide within all things, but all quietly, without any attachment to anything. Therefore, we do not understand it. Therefore, we do not see it. Therefore, we cannot perceive it. but we can perceive it in silence also, and in emptiness. We have to also become emptiness. We have to also become silence in order to perceive the things that abides in the emptiness and in silence. That's why we meditate in silence. We merge again with emptiness and with silence. And then we perceive that which is ourselves, which is, the essence of all things. And that's why we perceive that all things are one together. At that moment, the moment of deep concentration, we perceive somehow that we are all one. But at that time, we don't even feel that we and everything are one. It's just oneness. It's just oneness, one thing. So it's still inconceivable and inscrutable. Source of Buddhi. That's why the Buddha say the Dharma. Dharma means teaching in Hindu, in Sanskrit. The Dharma of all things, the essence of all things, the true essence, the true teaching, the true name of all things cannot be embraced. You cannot understand in any of the arbitrary conception of this wordy language. That's what the Buddha means. That is why it is called the Dharma, and why there is no such thing as a Dharma. Okay, we stop it here because that's it. Okay. Isn't that wonderful? Yeah? Okay. Do you still want to seek your Buddha nature since it's not a Buddha nature? You want to still come here to learn the Dharma since it is not the Dharma? So what do we do? You still want to sit around, yeah? Still want to know Buddha nature, yeah? In silence, yes. Well, all the things that you said to me, like, oh, Master, I meditate and I reap big benefits. Yes, I have this and that, miracles happen to me. These are just small things. Yeah, these are just the little toys for comfort while you are in this transient and suffering world. But Buddha nature is yourself. It's something greater than all these phenomena, greater than all these miracles. So don't be so happy just some miracles happen. Okay? Strive further. Go more inward. You have to aim to get the real essence of all things. Yeah? The real self. Yeah? Do not stop at miracles. Miracles happen all the time, whether you know it or not know it. Why? You are a miracle. You are the treasure of miracles. And when you awaken that miraculous power within you, things all come out. All sorts of things come out. Like this box here is full of candies. If they cover it, you don't see it. I just empty it all out and then you see all sorts of candies. It's originally in there already. Okay? It's like here you don't see anything but the juice in it. Yeah? If you open it and you put out, all juice come out. So, either you think Master make miracles for you, or either you think you have miracles within you. Both are correct. Because we are one. Okay? Your treasure is my treasure. Okay? Your problem is my problem. It's just the time and space and physical condition separate us, make us think that we are not one, but we are one. That's all there is. Okay? And so we have to seek this oneness, yeah? Seek the true nature of all things. Within the tree, within the stones, within the fish, within the worm, within the insect. Yeah? Within yourself. This is what we want to seek, because we are all one. So if you are liberated, then all the things that liberated also. That's why the Buddha say, truly, if you sincerely want to deliver all sentient beings, then all sentient beings will be delivered, but none will be delivered at the same time. Because we are one, so there's no sentient beings. But nevertheless, if we become Buddha, then we realize that we are one. Otherwise, there are a lot of sentient beings. Yeah? Because we don't realize the oneness yet. But once we truly want to deliver all sentient beings, then we became Buddha. And then everything is free. Not the 5 generations, but many generations.